Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As you can see the thumbnail, what if Issei is son of the bloodthirsty warrior and becomes Blood Warrior Part 2. But before we start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe to my channel and also watch previous episodes. Let's start the video. Akeno, I need you to leave this shrine. There may be another intruder in here, and if they find you they might harm you, Issei told Akeno. What about you? Akeno asked in a scared tone. Don't worry about me, just go. Where? Akeno replied. Anywhere, the park, a friend's place, anywhere that isn't here, Issei said. Alright, Akeno said in a sad tone. Okay, now go, Issei said in a rushed manner. Akeno ran out the room while Issei stayed to confront the threat. Issei reloaded his shotgun and began to walk slowly towards the origin of the sound. As Issei turned a corner in the hallway, he came in contact with another intruder. You boy, where is the fallen angel? Answer my question or we'll kill you, the man said. I fucking scared now, Issei responded. Have it your way then, the man said as he charged Issei. Issei pulled out Demlos and swung low. Issei landed Demlos on the man's leg and it came off completely. The man screamed as he fell over. This is for Akeno's mum, Issei said in a cold tone as he put Demlos into the man's chest. As he pulled Demlos from the man's chest, a lightning strike hit Issei back and pushed him down the hall and landed him in a wall. Issei turned around to find an enraged Barakiel. What happened here? Did you kill my wife? Where is my daughter? Barakiel asked as walked towards with a light sword in hand. Barakiel, I need you to calm down. I didn't kill your wife, Issei tried to say. The force from the attack broke a couple bones, the pain from the previous attack, and this one was really starting to take its toll. Bullshit, I know you did. I should have killed you the moment I saw you. I am going to that right now, Barakiel said as he raised his sword and was about to bring down when someone screamed. No, stop it, Akeno screamed. Akeno ran towards Barakiel and got in front of Issei. Issei protected me when you weren't here. Issei did your job because you weren't here. Momo would still be alive. You were here with us, Akeno screamed with tears in her eyes. Barakiel lowered his sword and made it disappear. Leave, Barakiel said in depressed tone. Issei got up on his feet and began to walk towards the door and get his things. Bye Akeno, Issei said almost like it was whisper. Wait Issei, Akeno ran towards Issei for a hug but Barakiel grabbed her. Akeno let him go, Barakiel said in almost demanding tone. Akeno looked back to Barakiel with anger in her eyes. Let me go, Akeno said in a demanding tone. Akeno looked back at Issei but he was gone. Issei, Akeno thought. Issei was about 1 kilometer away from his aunt's house. Issei was bag-tired from the battles he fought tonight. The only thing keeping awake was Demlos answering his questions. You know Issei, I am surprised. You just fought against a high-ranking fallen angel. Barakiel is second-hand to Azazel, if I remember correctly. Who? I am so tired, Issei said trying to stay awake. I understand partner, you're almost there, Demlos said. Issei reached the front door of his aunt's home. He knocked on the front door and waited. Issei heard something on the other side and then door opened. Issei, what happened? Issei's aunt screamed. Issei stood the doorway with blank expression and said in a tired tone. Fallen angels. Issei then passed out in the front door of his aunt's home. Issei awoke in a soft bed covered in bandages. He looked around the room and began to wonder where he was. Then Issei heard a door open and saw his aunt. Issei, you are awake, Issei's aunt said in a surprised tone. She ran over to Issei and hugged him. You have been out for 3 days and I have been worried that you wake up again. OWWW, Issei said in a strained voice. Oh sorry, you how your auntie Alex likes to hug, Alex said in a sad tone. Now Issei, you have some explaining to do. Where did you get this shotgun and where did you get this handle? Most importantly, what happened to you? Alex asked. Issei began to tell Alex all about the events that happened, his father and mother being dead, how he found Demlos and the shotgun, his first kill, the devil in his room, his fight with Barakiel. Issei finished his tell with tears in his eyes. Alex stood there and listened to every word Issei spoke. When Issei finished his story, Alex lost her mind. Those crows are going to pay for hurting my family. I am going to kill every last one starting with that nerd Azazel, Alex said in rage. Issei reached out and grabbed onto her wrist. As soon as he grabbed onto her, she calmed down. She looked at him and felt sadness. She grabbed onto the boy and hugged him. Shush, it's okay, I am here eyes, you can let out it, Alex said in motherly voice. Issei cried his heart into Alex's shoulder. When he finished, he looked into Alex's eyes and said with conviction. Teach me Alex, teach me these powers I have so I can find out why my parents were killed and make sure this never happens to anyone. Of course, I must warn you Issei, the training you asking is brutal and might kill you. You really must be sure you want this, Alex replied. Yes I do, Issei said without a moment of hesitation. Alright, your training begins tomorrow. For now, get some rest, you are going to need it, Alex said. Issei closed his eyes and the last thing he said right before he fell asleep. No matter how hard the training is, I will overcome him and be the strongest slayer to ever walk the earth. Alex got Issei up around 7 a.m. the next day. The first thing he was forced to was run 10 kilometers as a warm-up. After he got back from his run, Issei wasn't even allowed to catch his breath because he was forced to do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. After finishing his sit-ups, he laid back down to catch his breath. "I am going to die," Issei spoke with sweat coming off his face. "If you're going to complain this early in your training, then you might make it through the day," Alex said. "There are two parts of training: physical training to increase your strength and reflexes. This also increases your super strength and speed traits. The second part is your magical training. This training will focus on your health collection and increase your magical abilities, and as well as make you more resistant to magical attacks. We are now going focus on magic. Sit down and close your eyes," Alex said in a commanding tone. Issei did what he was told and sat down and closed his eyes. "I want you to breath in and out and only focus on your breathing," Alex said in a calm tone. Issei listened to Alex and only focused on his breathing. When Issei opened his eyes, he was surrounded by fire. Where am I?" Issei asked out loud. "You, boy," a voice boomed. "Why yes," Issei replied, scared out of his mind. "Do you desire power?" the voice asked. "Huh?" Issei asked, confused. A red dragon with green eyes appeared in front of the boy. The dragon was massive compared to Issei. It had massive wings coming out his back. The dragon roared that showed his sharp teeth that looked deadly. "I said, boy, do you desire power?" the dragon asked. "Why yes," Issei replied. "Why do you need this power?" the dragon asked Issei. To figure out why my parents were killed and avenge them, as well as become the strongest warrior to ever lived," Issei said. "I see. I will give you this power to avenge your parents and make sure you become a warrior of legend. However, this power comes at a cost. By accepting this power will take on many challenges that would want to defeat you and may kill you. Do you still want this power?" the dragon asked. "Yes," Issei replied. "Very well, I give you my power and make you the new Red Dragon Emperor." A very bright green light filled Issei's vision. Issei closed his eyes to shield them. When Issei opened them, he was laying down looking up at the ceiling. Issei sat up on the bed and wiped his head from the sweat with his left hand. Issei was completely dumbfounded. On Issei's left hand was a red gauntlet with a giant green gem on the hand. The gauntlet had two golden tips that were at the back of the mystery item. It had a few spikes right before the golden tips that got smaller as it got towards the hand. "You are one special boy." Issei turned his head and saw Alex standing in the doorway. Is this thing part of my powers?" Issei asked. "Nope, what you have is something very special. You currently have is a sacred gear," Alex said while walking towards Issei's side. "Sacred gear, what is that?" Issei asked. "A sacred gear is item that is given by God that allow the user different abilities. What you have is boosted gear. It allows the user to double their power every 10 seconds and can transfer that power other people and items," Alex said. "Amazing that you know that." The gauntlet talked. The gem on the gauntlet flashed each time the gauntlet uttered a word. "You can talk?" Issei asked, surprised as he turned his head and looked at the gem. "Yes, I can talk. The woman is right about your powers. I am surprised that a human would know so much about sacred gears. I will have you know, you overgrown lizard, that you are being wielded by a descendant of one of the most fearsome warrior of the Great War." Alex spit back at the gauntlet. "Oh really? What warrior would that be?" the gem said. "The Slayer," Issei spoke up. The gem didn't say anything for a good 2 minutes. Why you don't mean the Slayer, the one who slaughtered 3/4 of the fallen angel faction and almost wiped the devils out completely, the one who sealed me and the White One in these gears, the one who took on God and the Devil King at the same time, that Slayer?" The gem sounded scared. "Yes, that Slayer," Alex said with a small smile on her face. "I am so very sorry for doubting you. Please don't destroy me," the gem apologized. "I don't think I could do that," Issei looked the gem. "Anyways, I have to make dinner now. I will leave to talk to your new partner. Starting tomorrow, Issei, I have doubled your training regiment due to your gear. This is going to be hell," Issei sighed to himself. "So gem, do you have a name?" Issei said the gem. "My name is Diedrich, partner," Diedrich responded. "Well, my name is Panta. Is it true? Are you the welder of the boosted gear?" Demlos asked like he was a little kid and butt in between the two. "Oh Demlos, I haven't heard from you in a couple days now. How did figure out that I wield Diedrich?" Issei said in confusion. "Alex told me. She is keeping me in the shed outside the home with all the other weapons she has. I have been trying to contact you but I couldn't reach you," Demlos said. "Why don't you ask Diedrich and see for yourself?" Issei questioned the sword. Partner, who are you talking to?" Diedrich said in confusion. "Me, I am Delmos, I am the Slayer's sword," Demlos introducing himself. "So, let me get this straight, partner. You are a descendant of the Slayer. You are now a welder of the boosted gear. Now I learn that you weld the legendary Slayer's sword." Demlos, is that all, partner? Drake said in surprise. "That about sums it up. You should become a very powerful warrior with our help. I know it for a fact," Diedrich said. "The help from Demlos, you and Alex, I know that as well. I will become a powerful warrior and make sure to protect the people I care for," Issei said with determination in eyes. Issei laid back down and fell asleep. The next day Issei got up and began his warm-up. After he got back from his warm-up, he began his combat training and magical training. Alex doubled his regiment on the account of his boosted gear. Issei was having some trouble keeping up with the training, but he never gave up. The combat training he was forced to do was him dogging Alex's attacks and trying to land an attack of his own. The magical training was split between Issei defending magical attacks and upgrading his boosted gear and his Slayer abilities. Issei also had to learn about supernatural world and what was in it, so Alex taught Issei about the supernatural world. Issei did this every day till Alex was sure he could survive on his own and didn't get killed if he was ever in a fight. Time skip BTW. Well Issei, I must say you certainly improved since you arrived on my front door, Alex said. Really, I don't feel any different since arriving. The only thing I can think that changed was the boosted gear, Issei said as he sat down on a bench. Nonsense, you can use your abilities properly and with no difficulty. You can use your boosted gear with ease. You are physically fit and can take on a high-ranked devil with ease, Alex said cheerfully. I just wish I could use that, Issei said in a depressed tone. Don't beat yourself over it, I am sure that we'll get to use that properly, Alex said reassuring Issei. Thanks Alex, Issei said with a small smile. You're only 16 years old, you have plenty of time to unlock it, Alex said. I would have more time to train if you didn't enroll me in school, Issei replied. You are going to Quo and that is final, do not make use that on you, Alex said in a threatening tone. Why yes ma'am, Issei said scared out his mind when that was brought up. Besides, I don't want you live here forever, I found you a nice apartment to live in while you are there. Ugh, fine, Issei said in an agreement. Now go pack your things, Alex said in a commanding tone. Yes, drill sergeant, Issei said under his breath. What was that? Alex replied. Nothing, Issei said as he ran to his room to pack his stuff. The next day, Alex drove Issei to his apartment so he could get settled in and prepare for his first day of school. Well here we are, Alex said. Issei got out of the car and looked at the building. It was grey building about 6 floors up. It didn't have anything that made it stand out, so it just kind of made it blend into the surrounding area. Issei entered the building with his bags and walked up to his room. Issei opened the door to his room and began to look around. It was a small living room that was connected to the kitchen, and down the hall was a bathroom and a single bedroom. Issei began to put his stuff away when Ademlos and Diedrich began to talk. Issei, I wanted to let you know that I sense devils and fallen angels nearby. Demlos is right, I also sense devils and fallen angels nearby. Oh wonderful, by the way Demlos, how's the backpack, got a lot of room? Issei asked Demlos. Yes, partner, it's just as I remember, Demlos replied cheerfully. This backpack ability I have really comes in handy. It would be really awkward to carry a shotgun and you around in school. Agreed, Demlos replied. Issei finished getting his stuff put away and then laid down on his bed and fell asleep. Issei got up 2 hours before school started and began his morning routine. After he finished, Issei took a shower, got dressed and walked towards Quo Academy. Issei got to the front gate and noticed all the kids greeting to each other and going to walk towards the front door when he felt like he was being watched. He looked up and saw a woman looking at him with inattentive stare from another building. The girl had red hair and big sea blue eyes, her uniform held tightly around her very big chest. Issei looked directly at her and thought, so, she must be the devil that my partners were warning me should be fun. Issei waved at her and began to walk to his class. After looking around for his classroom, Issei found the class he was assigned. Issei knocked on the door to the classroom. The door opened and Issei assumed it was the teacher. Oh my, you must be my new student, come on in and introduce yourself, the teacher said. Issei walked into the class and saw the other students. One of the students caught the attention of Issei. The student was male and had blonde hair and blue eyes. However, Issei knew he wasn't human. Issei knew that this student was a devil. The student in question looked at Issei and his eyes went wide for a brief second, then showed concern. Issei could sense that the student also knew that he wasn't a regular human and wanted no more. Issei walked to the front of the class. Starting today we have a new student, the teacher said to the class. Hello, my name is Issei Hudu and I am pleased to meet of you. Issei bowed to the class. Issei, you can take a seat in front of Kiba in the back, the teacher told Issei. Issei walked towards his seat and sat down. Through the entire class Issei felt Kiba stare at him. The class went by very quickly. Issei wasn't really paying attention and just stared outside the window. The bell rang and the teacher left the room. As soon the teacher left, Issei felt a tap on his shoulder. Issei turned around and saw Kiba looking at him. Can you follow me please? Kiba said in polite tone. Issei looked at him for a moment. Issei got out of his chair and walked behind Kiba. Through the walk to their destination Issei was wondering where he was leading him. They arrived at an old school building and walked inside. They walked upstairs and reached a big pair of doors. Kiba opened the doors and the two boys walked in. As soon he opened the door, he saw the woman from earlier sitting behind a desk. In front of the desk there was 2 couches facing one another. On one of those couches he saw a girl. She had a smaller frame. The girl had short white hair with a cat clip in it. She was eating some cookies and paying little attention to what was going on around her. The room itself was very lavish and fancy. For an old school building it had class. Hello there, my name is Rias Gremory and I welcome you to the Occult Research Club, Rias said greeting Issei. Gremory, I can't say I am shocked, Issei said as he took a seat acting it wasn't a big deal. Shocked? Why would you be shocked? Rias asking confused. Well, it's not every day you meet the Demon King's little sister, Issei replied. Everyone in that room was shocked. It seems I can just skip right to the point then, Rias said with a smile on her face. Please do, I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to, Issei said in a low tone. Everyone picked up on his tone and began to prepare themselves for a fight. Far enough, I want to know who you are. You clearly are part of the supernatural and clearly have some sort of power. I want to know what is it, Rias commanded. Like I would tell you, Issei spat back. You are going to tell me, unless you don't want your blood painting these walls, Rias said with red in her eyes. With Issei speed, he got up from his seat and ran towards Rias. He was so fast that nobody in the room could see him till he was inches from Rias's face. Listen well, you red-haired bitch, I can go wherever and whenever I feel like. I don't need your approval. Also, you should be very careful who threaten, because if I felt like it, I could kill all of you without breaking a sweat, Issei said with a twisted grin. Rias stood there with cold sweat coming off her face. To say she was shocked would be an understatement. She thought that Issei was a regular low-level monster. Now she realized that Issei could kill all of them and make it look easy. What really shocked her was his eyes. His eyes were no longer brown, they were a bright green and had a wild look to them. If you kill me, my brother will, Rias tried to say. What, kill me? Ha, I would like to see him try, Issei said getting closer to her. Rias was beyond terrified, yet at the same time, turned on. Issei had a lot of power and was making Rias go completely insane from all of it. SM was always her queen's thing, so this was very new to her. Oh my, what do we have here? It looks like a monster doesn't know his place. A lusty voice coming from the door. Issei's eyes got wide when he heard that voice. Issei turned his head and was shocked to say the least. Akeno, is that you, Issei? Akeno replied. Thanks for watching. Part 2 is over. Hope you all enjoyed. If you like this video, please do like, share, comment and subscribe.